The best way to bridge that gap between your dreams and a finished manuscript, maybe even a bestseller, isn't about waiting for inspiration to strike. It's about following three simple but profoundly powerful writing rules. Rules that have helped me and countless others go from "I'll get to it someday" to "Hey, I just finished my first draft." We hear it all the time, find your why. But let's be real, this statement can feel like empty motivational fluff. However, when it comes to writing, understanding why you sit down at the keyboard is everything. It's your foundation. When you figure out your deeper reason for telling a story, whether it's to entertain, to heal, to inspire, or even to pay the bills, you tap into a source of motivation that can carry you through the ugliest writing slumps. When I first started writing, my why was simple. I wanted to create worlds I could escape into. No big lofty goal, just pure unadulterated fun. Over time, my why grew bigger. I realized I wanted to connect with people who felt alone or misunderstood. I want my stories to be a safe haven for them. It turned out that knowing I could affect someone else's life even just a little bit turned into a rocket fuel for my creativity. Now I want you to think about your own motivations. Maybe you want to become the next literary superstar. Hey, there's no shame in ambition. Or maybe you have experiences that are too profound, too life-changing not to share. Perhaps you simply get a thrill from inventing characters who do wildly adventurous things. Whatever your reason, keep it front and center. Write it on a post-it, tape it on your laptop, tattoo it on your forearm. Okay, maybe not that one. But you get the idea. Because here's the truth. Writing, especially fiction writing, can be a marathon. The high from a fresh idea often fades right around halfway mark of your story. That's when your why becomes crucial. It's the emotional lifeline that pulls you past procrastination and self-doubt. And if you're ever worried your reason isn't noble enough, I want you to listen to me. If it matters to you, it's valid. We live in a world where your audience decides if they're hooked in the first few seconds. It's the same for reading. We can talk about beauty of long descriptive passages, but if you don't give your reader a reason to keep reading, like right now, they will bounce faster than you can say "for you" page. Let's be honest, between Netflix marathons, TikTok scrolling, and endless Instagram feed, it's hard to hold anyone's attention, especially millennials and Gen Z, who have options galore when it comes to entertainment. Wait, I'm a millennial. You know what? I gotta agree. I'm part of the problem. That's where a gripping opening line or scene can make all the difference. Drop your reader into the action. Give them something to question. Make them wonder, wait, how did we get here? Or what on earth is going to happen next? Take an example, the sun bled over the valley like a warning. Now the readers got mental images and slight chill of dread. It's just a sunset, but the word bled suggests danger. There's tension in the air. You've hinted that something's off, which hooks the imagination. Think of your writing like a puzzle, scattering your clues for your audience to piece together. But let's not get carried away. This doesn't mean turning your story into one giant cliffhanger. After hooking your reader, you still need depth. It's like giving them a tasty appetizer, but you also want to serve an unforgettable entree. Maintain momentum by introducing compelling characters, weaving in emotional stakes, and continually raising questions. What's your protagonist scared of? What's their secret desire? Why do they desperately need to succeed or even fail? Pacing is key. If your entire book is breakneck speed, readers won't have time to catch a breath. They'll burn out. So think of your narrative like a well-curated playlist. Some tracks pump up the energy, others let you chill and reflect. But every track has a reason to be there. If it doesn't contribute, cut it out or tweak it until it does. Your readers will thank you by reading just one more page, and then another, and then another, and then another, and then another. Let's address the elephant in the room, finishing what you start. You might kick off your writing journey on fire, your mind filled with big plot twists, unforgettable characters, maybe even the perfect last line. But somewhere around the midpoint or quarter point or even just page 5, the self-criticism starts screaming, "This is terrible! Who's going to read this garbage? Did I really just name my main character Bob?" Look, my early drafts are cringeworthy. I'm talking plot holes you could drive a truck through. But you know what? Those drafts got written. They weren't good, but I had words on paper. Words I could shape, refine, and eventually turn into something worth reading. That's the power of done. A finished rough draft is an achievement. It's a tangible proof of your commitment. A blank page, no matter how pristine, has zero potential. Here's the gold nugget. Give yourself permission to write badly. Good writing doesn't happen in your head. It happens on the page, where you can see it, cringe at it, and fix it. So, the next time you catch yourself wanting to press backspace every 5 seconds, remember, your first draft is just the raw clay. Editing, revising, and polishing come later. Right now, your job is to get words down. Incoherent? Possibly. Riddled with cliches? Maybe. But at least it exists. And that's step 1. There's a moment often called the messy middle, where your once exciting story feels like a chore. You'll wonder if you should start a new project or just binge the latest season of your favorite Netflix show instead. Here's how you push through that. Remember your why and remember the power of finishing. Because if you can push past the slump and get that rough draft completed, you will have accomplished something 90% of aspiring writers never do. And that, my friend, is huge. Serious question. When did we decide writing had to be so solemn? Sure, writing can be emotional, even draining at times, but sometimes you've got to lighten up. Turn it into a game. Challenge yourself to write 500 words before you check your phone. Race against a friend who's also writing. Reward yourself with something silly, like a bag of chips you only open once you hit your daily word count. There are apps and spreadsheets that can gamify your writing habit. You set a goal like probably 2,000 words this week and watch the progress bars fill up each day. There's a weird, almost childlike joy in seeing that bar inch closer to 100%. It feels like leveling up in a video game. And hey, if it keeps you writing, then why not? The point is, writing doesn't have to feel like you're locked in a tower, suffering for your art. Yes, it can be tough, but injecting a little fun keeps you coming back to the page. When you approach writing with playful enthusiasm, your creativity thrives. Trust me, your readers will feel that energy in your work, in your writing. Alright, let's revisit the 3 rules that can transform your writing life. First, find your why. Is it freedom, fame, fun, or something else entirely? Own it. Let it be your North Star when the going gets tough. Second, write for TikTok attention spans. Grab your reader in seconds. Drop them into the heart of the action or the core of the conflict. Keep feeding their curiosity with tension, questions, and well-paced story beats. Third up is done is better than perfect. Never underestimate the power of a finished, if messy, draft. You can't edit a blank page, but you can polish a rough one. Look, if you only take one thing away from this video, let it be this. You have a story inside you worth sharing, and the world needs to hear it. Does that sound hyperbolic? Maybe. But what if it's true? What if your story changes someone's life, or even just brightens their day? You'll never know unless you write it down, messy draft and all. Now, I want you to do something right after this video ends. No, don't scroll to the next recommended video, unless it's mine. I'm not kidding. Anyway, I want you to open a blank document or grab a piece of paper. Write whatever comes to mind. It could be a scene from your novel in progress, a snippet of dialogue, or even just ranting about your day. The point is to start, because starting is often the biggest hurdle, and once you start, you'll be surprised at how naturally the words begin to flow. Anyway, if you found any sparks of inspiration, do me a favor, hit that like button. And if you want more tips on writing, productivity, or just living a more creative life, make sure you subscribe. We're building a community of wordsmiths who believe that stories can change the world, or at least make it a little more interesting. But if you really love the video, I'm offering you a downloadable PDF of everything we talked about and more, only for as little as $1. This is, of course, to support the channel, to support me and my Nespresso addiction. Anyway, if you want to learn more about writing a book where the reader can't put it down, I suggest you to master the art of pacing. Coincidentally, I have a video for that. Here, I'll place it in the screen for a few seconds so you have no choice but to see it. I encourage you to click it, and I'll see you there.